Shabbat Shalom, and
Shabbat
almost
Shalom.
Shavua Tov.
Shabbat
It's
Shalom.
still Shabbat, so we still get to say Shabbat Shalom, and I welcome all of you here to TBZ, those of you who are here present in person, those of you who are here through Zoom or YouTube. It's wonderful to see you and to be with you. We can see you. If you are on Zoom, we can see you. We have the screen where we can see, so if you want to wave so we can see you there, please know we are there. If your camera is off, we invite you to turn it on so we can see you and you can feel this beautiful sanctuary and have you present with us. And we're here to celebrate Altamo today, and opportunity to come together in community and this liminal time of the day, which is the moment where the day ends, where it's still Shabbat, but it's almost over. And it's such a moment of peace, such a moment of opening hearts and opening for prayer and for celebration when the sun is coming down, when there's a little bit more of Shabbat and we're ready to welcome the new week. I'm going to invite Altamo first to sing for us and with us Lechi Lach, and we have a Siddur that you all have available, was sent to you ahead of time, but also Tyler will be posting it on the chat so you can have access to it. And Lechi Lach is a song, Altamo, you can come. Lechi Lach is a song by Debbie Friedman, which is written, inspired by the words of the Torah that we will be reading this coming week. Also, the week of the Parsha is every Shabbat, but in Saturday afternoon, we start with the next week Parsha, and that's Lech Lecha next week. We will be learning about Lech Lecha a lot from Altamo, but Lechi Lech is this beautiful song that really speaks about the journey. So Altamo will sing for us, with us.
Lehi La, to a land that I will show you. Lech Lecha, to a place you do not know. Lehi La, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing. Lechi La, and I shall make your name great. Lech Lecha, and I shall praise your name. Lehi La, to the place that I will show you. L'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, Lehi La.
Wonderful. Thank you, Altamo, for opening with this song. We're here to celebrate with Altamo and Altamo's family, Altamo's Torah and Hebrew learning in the Jewish community. And we're very excited that we'll be able to hear words of Torah and Altamo chanting verses from the Torah, and for us to learn about the journey of Altamo. Altamo, you can sit with your parents for a few more minutes before your next part. And we start, or continue, we already started, with reminding ourselves the mitzvah of loving our neighbor as we love ourselves. In the bottom of page 3. And this is to remind us this important commandment, this important mitzvah of loving our neighbor as we love ourselves, which there is no times of more urgency than now to remind ourselves of this. That it is through, first of all, caring for our own selves, that we care for others, and by caring for others, we care ourselves that these two are intertwined. Wearing a mask is definitely a way to fulfill this mitzvah, and making sure that we are there for others in their most needed ways. We sang together. Areini mekabelet alayet mitzvat aboreh ve'ata l'reacha kamocha. Love your neighbor as yourself. Areini mekabelet alayet mitzvat aboreh ve'ata l'reacha kamocha. Love your neighbor as yourself. Page 5, Psalm 150. We're going to sing, we're going to praise God with Psalm 150. Join us singing. The transliteration is also on page 5, so everybody can sing with us. Hallelujah, 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 turn to page 6. Altamo is going to read for us poem My People by Langston Hughes, that he chose to share with us this evening.
My People by Langston Hughes. Dream singers, storytellers, dancers, loud laughters in the hands of fate. My people, dishwashers, elevator boys, ladies' maids, crap shooters, cooks, waiters, jazzers, nurses of babies, lorders of ships, porters, hairdressers, comedians in Vaud Valley, and bandmen in circuses. Dream singers all, storytellers all, dancers, God, what dancers, singers, God, what singers, singers and dancers, dancers and laughers, laughers, yes, laughers, 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 in the hands of fate.
Thank you. Miriam, you join Altamo to lead us on Oseh Shalom on page 6. Altamo, maybe your mom should stand on, yeah. You don't need it, she does. Yeah, good.
Oseh Shalom Bimrama, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Veyako Israel, Imaru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimrama. Shalom Aleinu, Le'ako Israel, Imaru, Amen.
Everybody.
Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Israel. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Israel. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Israel. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Israel. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Israel. Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel ve'imru Amen. Share koach, Miriam, beautiful singing, beautiful voice. I'm going to invite now Avi Davis, Altamo's tutor, to introduce the next part and say a few words follow. We're going to I don't know if you at home can hear this, but there is a siren going through. So we're going to let that siren go through. Okay. Avi and Altamo's been learning for a long time, and he'll introduce the next part of the learning of Altamo. Avi.
Altamo. A couple of months back, Rav Claudia gave us a challenge. I don't know if I phrased it that way to you originally, but she challenged us to find a way of personalizing this blessing, la'asok b'divrei Torah, to busy ourselves, to engage with Torah. And we'd already been saying this blessing from day one, about a year back, when we started studying together. And you took to the blessing, and I think you like it. And we say it to start every study session together. So I thought it was a good challenge for both of us. And because you liked it, we started to look more deeply into each word. 13 words, and these are powerful words. These are very special words, like Torah. My goodness, it covers a lot of different things. Torah are the rules that we live by, or that are suggested for us, but this isn't just the rules and the words in the scroll. There's another side to Torah called Torah Shabbat Peh, the Torah that's by word of mouth, or that we create every day in our interactions with each other. This is how we live our lives, by the words and the things that are in the Torah. You get this. You're a pretty good engager in Torah. You're a great listener. You're a really good observer. for 2 years, Altamo, maybe more than 2 years, right? Almost 3 years, you've been involved in being an umpire. And an umpire has very special skills and can see this in a different way. So you bring those skills to our study, and I'm so grateful for it. You practice being a judge, an ish tzaddik, and that is part of what Torah encourages us to do, being a righteous human being. And those are kind of hard to find these days, consistently. So our spiritual practice starts from a really strong base. You're already, well, I wouldn't call you a master yet, but you're a master in training of being an ish tzaddik. It's been my pleasure studying with you. And I invite you to start us with this bracha, and then to read the poem that we worked on in answer to Rav Claudia's challenge.
So on page 7, you can see Altamo's interpretation of La'asok b'divrei Torah that he will read for us.
Baruch. Play ball, heads up and pay attention. Baruch. Bend your knees, lean into it. Baruch. Lean into it. Get your mind into it. Be here now. Pay attention to this moment. This moment, be present. Olam. World. Universe. Mystery. Invisible, not understandable. Kiddishanu. Holy. Sacred. Special, like the photos of my grandparents in the dining room wall. The first thing God declared as holy was time. God made the seventh day Shabbat holy. Shabbat is holy time. Can things be holy? Can words be holy? Can I make something holy? B'mitzvotav. In God's commandments, in your actions, your deeds, what is most important? My thoughts, my intentions, or my actions? La'asok, to do the business of. La'asok, to engage in, to busy myself. B'divrei, in the things of, in the words of Torah.
Amen. We say together, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. And Altamo is going to read 2 aliyot from next week parsha that we begin on Lech Lecha on page 8.
Vayomer Adonai El Avram Lech Lecha mi'artzicha umimolodetecha umibeit avicha el haaretz asher arecha ve'escha legoy gadol va'avarechecha va'agada shamecha ve'hei bracha va'avarcha mevrechecha umkalala aor ve'niverchu vach kol mishvahot ha'adama.
We keep going on Genesis 15, verses 17, 21. It's in the middle of page 8.
Vayomer, oh wait. Vayhi hashemesh ba vaylata haya vehine tanur ashan velapid esh asher avar bein hagzarim ha'ele bayom hahu karat yud he vav he et Avraham berit lemor lezraha netati et haaretz hazot minahar mitzrayim anahar hagadol nahar prat et hakeni ve'et haknizi ve'et hakanmoni ve'et hachiti ve'et haprizi ve'et herifayim ve'et ha'emori ve'et hakananani ve'et hagirgashi, ve'et hayuvusi.
Sher koach. Now, Altamo is going to explain to us this that you here just read. So if you don't know what he read and chanted, he's going to talk to us about Parshat Lech Lecha, sharing with us his Dvar Torah, his teaching of Torah, his words of Torah.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you everyone for joining me for my bar mitzvah. I hope all you arrived here okay. I heard that there were some challenges getting here to TBC recently. Some turkeys in the road that might have slowed you down. Do you guys know why those turkeys crossed the road? Well, to get to my bar mitzvah. All right. Well, let's get right into it. The portion I read today is called Lech Lecha. And the meaning of Lech Lecha is to go to yourself. What does that mean, to go to yourself? And what is the Torah portion about? Today's parsha tells us that God says to Abraham, "Go forth from your father's house, from your homeland, to the land that I shall show you." God promises Abraham, 1, I'll make you a great nation. 2, I'll bless you and make your name great. 3, I'll bless those who bless you. 4, I'll curse those who curse you. 5, all the families on the earth shall be blessed through you. So Abraham did what God told him to do. Abraham, Sarah, his wife, and Lot, his nephew, and the whole family, and slaves and maidservants, started their journey from Haran, south with Sarah and Lot, his nephew. Then God spoke to Abram and promised him, "To your offspring will I give this land." But Abram was 75 years old. He and Sarah could not have a child. So Sarah had the idea to give Hagar, her maidservant, to Abram to marry and to use her to have a child. The story of Abraham and Hagar made me think of Sally Hemings and Thomas Jefferson. Hagar was a maidservant, a slave, and did not have the free will to choose to marry Abram or bear his child. Sally was a servant, a slave, and did not have the free will to choose to be with Thomas Jefferson. Sally did not have the right to say yes or no to anything. It was always given to her or taken from her, just like Hagar. What can we learn from these similar stories? How do they intersect? We see something in the Torah as it happens in real life, and not that long ago. I think this lesson is still relevant today, especially in light of what is happening now with the Black Lives Matter movement. So what exactly do we see in the Torah? Does the Torah provide a framework to reflect on our future and our past? We see Hagar with a woman with no free will. She's being used to fill someone's needs with no regard for her. We see a system that creates powerful people and oppresses people. Those in power who benefit the most blindly accept the imbalance. For many years, the narrative of Thomas Jefferson also held up this power imbalance. We were told that Sally Hemings was willingly Jefferson's partner. Now we look back, we see it differently. We see a woman like Hagar with no free will, oppressed by the system, justified in history by claiming she was a willing participant for the better of Thomas Jefferson, or in Hagar's case, Abram from the nation. In reality, we know this was not possible. Neither of these women had free will. Neither could be free to participate of their choosing. We see these same things going on today with the powerful and systematically oppressed. This is what the Black Lives Matter movement is about. It is about rising up, recognizing, and fighting structural oppression, and correcting injustice or wrongdoing. It is about using our history and understanding our past to inform our future. But that's not all. The bit of Torah seems like it was written just yesterday. The Hagar story goes on. Sarah gets jealous of Hagar and tells Abram to banish Hagar to the desert, which is a small bottle of water. Abram doesn't know what to do. He asks God, and God tells Abram to do what Sarah says. So Abraham banishes Hagar to the wilderness. We witness Hagar's son, Ishmael, dying from the lack of water. God hears Hagar call out from the desert and sends an angel to speak to her. God gives Hagar a message of hope and comfort and clearly sympathizes with Hagar. Then the angel promises that Ishmael, the son of Hagar, will be the father of 12 tribes and the father of a great nation. How would we see this today? I think we can use this story as an example of reparations, which means the making of amends a wrong one has done by paying money or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. My mom Miriam says that God is giving us an example of how to recognize our mistakes and try to fix it, repair it. We should use this as a path to do the same, to acknowledge our mistakes and try to make amends, to make reparations. In this story, we see that God is making amends with Hagar. God is acknowledging it's their mistake, and is trying to make it right. It's our idea of God evolving here. The Jewish sage says the Torah is the book of life. The Torah was written for us today. We should hear this story, this teaching, as a God pleading with us to do the right thing and recognize our mistakes and try to make amends. We can also see the Torah as a perfect way of showing tshuva, which means to return, to go back and correct something and make it right. And this is how we come to ourselves. Avi says that seeing the Torah as a beacon of light only works if we're willing to let go of the places we are stuck and evolve a little and change and find new meaning in the Torah words. This story inspires us to do tshuva because God did tshuva. The story inspires us to make change in ourselves and in the world among us. This is the story of Hagar, a story of amends, hope, and a story of learning. For me, my story of coming to myself was coming to something I love, baseball, and finding a way to share that with others. As my bar mitzvah project, I've been volunteering with the Special Olympics of Massachusetts. For me, it made me smile in ways I didn't understand, sharing something I love with others who really appreciate it. I learned that I can make someone happy just by being there and helping them out. By going to others, I came to myself. Dear family and friends, this has been an amazing time for me, and now I'm here surrounded by the people I love and appreciate. Thank you, everyone, for being here for me today. I've accomplished so many things this year, like school, my bar mitzvah training, and being a good friend, and so much more. I learned so much about how meaningful Judaism is. There are several people who supported me through this process. Dad, I wish you all the joy and happiness in the world. I hope one day me and you can sit down with a couple of beers one day and forever be happy. I'll do whatever it takes to be deeply connected to you so we can have this moment over and over again. Dear Zraya, I hope one day you won't try to pick a fight with me, because you'll know every time I'll win. Just kidding, I don't want to fight with you. Maybe I do. I actually wish that me and you could be there for each other and have each other's backs no matter what happens. I want to bless you with all the love and kindness from my heart. Dear Mom, when I get older and I start liking books a lot more, we can sit down in the living room with a warm fire and debate about them for hours. I know how important it is for you to help others who are less fortunate than us. I would like to bless you with the strength and courage in all of your work. And to my Hebrew tutor, Avi, for helping me with my prayers. Mom and Dad, thank you for all the planning that went today, helping me to prepare for all your support. Lastly, I appreciate all my family and friends for coming out here today and honoring me becoming a bar mitzvah. Shavu Tova.
Shabbat Tov.
Shabbat Tov.
Shabbat Tov. It's all good. Altamo, come here. I want you to stand here so I can give you a blessing. And while I do this, Ezra, can I give you a job? It's a very simple job. You see the candy there? Yeah, pass it to the people on this pod, only you. Everybody take a little bit. And when I give you a sign, and you don't hear this, but you know, when I give you a sign, you guys all take some candy, all of you. When I give you a sign, you're going to throw candy at Altamo as a sign of sweetness, blessing him with the sweetness. If it wasn't the pandemic, we will all do that, but we are told that only people of the same pod can do that. And then we're going to, no, Ezra, only your pod, only there. And then we will ask the pod of Altamo to come and dance and sing with him. And those, no, we cannot pass candy to other people. We cannot have candy. The candy stay in one pod. And those of you can stay in your place and dance where you are, but those of you in the pod can come and join Altamo. Altamo, I'm going to ask you to take 2 steps back. I need a little more distance. I spend too much time with a lot of people, so I need to be a little more careful. I want to bless you. Look at me. I want to bless you. Misheberach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the one who blessed our ancestors, bless you, Altamo, who has come to this moment of celebration. May you continue to be a bright, cheerful, responsible, thoughtful, creative, committed, outgoing young man. May you continue being a loving brother to Ezraiah, a great son to your parents, always surrounded by loving friends and family. May you find joy in your studies as you do now, and in everything you do, and may you always, always be blessed with teachers and mentors who will challenge and will keep bringing out the best in you. May you continue to ask questions, Altamo, and engage with others with curiosity. May you continue to give yourself to the Jewish community as you did today. Your commitment and dedication are a blessing. We're so proud of the journey you have chosen to go through learning Hebrew, learning about Judaism, and finding meaning in this process in a way that has been very unique to you. This has been your choice all the way. And behind every decision you made, there was a thoughtful consideration. You are strong and gentle, and we are blessed to know you and learn from you. May you continue to learn from you. May we continue to learn from you, and may you continue challenging us with questions that make us think profoundly and honestly. May this community continue being part of your life, embracing you and your family. May you always, always be part of vibrant and relevant communities. May you be fearless in continuing to search for your own unique voice and identity. May you take your knowledge and gifts and strengths and use them to lift up others and to heal this broken world. May these blessings join all the wishes of your parents for you and wishes of this whole community. And let us say, Amen. Come and dance with him. Mazel tov, mazel tov, cimento, cimento, mazel tov, mazel tov, cimento, cimento. You can dance in your sport. Mazel tov, cimento, yeilanu, 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 oh lechol Yisrael, yeilanu, yeilanu, oh lechol Yisrael, yeilanu, yeilanu, oh lechol Yisrael, yeilanu, yeilanu, oh lechol Yisrael. Cimento, mazel tov, mazel tov, cimento, cimento, mazel tov, mazel tov, cimento, cimento, mazel tov, mazel tov, cimento, yeilanu, yeilanu, oh lechol Yisrael, yeilanu, yeilanu, oh lechol Yisrael, yeilanu, yeilanu, oh lechol Yisrael, yeilanu, yeilanu, oh lechol Yisrael. Mazel tov. Ezraiah, you can pick up the candy. Yeah.
Mazel tov.
And you guys can all sit beside Altamo and Steve and Miriam, and I ask you to come to the bima. Steve on one side, Miriam on the other, as we bless him. And Azrael, you can stay with your mom there if you want. Steve, if you want to start, guys, move the microphone so we can hear you. So Steve, I think we'll invite you to say a few words to Altamo. To say
This
a
is my blessing?
Your blessing, yes, your blessing.
Well, I'm not sure about a few words,
Oh, the words you have.
but I did prepare something.
Okay.
Now, when I was asked to give a blessing for this really amazing ceremony, I had to research what to say because I'm not Jewish. I didn't have a bar mitzvah. I've never even been to one for today. So I consulted the ancient texts and the sacred scrolls. Internet. And I found some very traditional blessings from a father to his son, and this one really turned out to be my favorite. Blessed is he who has now freed me from the responsibility of this boy. Now, what that actually means is that I'm thanking God for making you a man, but it still sounds a little twisted. First of all, you're not quite there yet. And more importantly, my responsibility for you, Altamo, is not a burden I needed to be free from. It's a gift. It's my blessing. And even when you do go out on your own and no longer my responsibility, I'll still feel that connection. I'm always proud of you, but I'm especially proud of what you've accomplished here today. We didn't raise you in any religious tradition, so I worry that preparing for bar mitzvah, learning Hebrew, studying the Torah, might prove too difficult. But over the last few years, I've seen and admired how hard you've worked and learned those lessons. I may not understand everything a bar mitzvah represents, but I do understand rites of passage, and I do understand the search for a greater meaning in life. And so I say to you, Altamo, may you take the lessons you've learned on this spiritual journey with you throughout your life. In my research, I found this passage written by the Jewish philosopher Solomon ibn Gabirol 1,000 years ago. At the head of all understanding is realizing what is and what cannot be, and the consoling of what is not in our power to change. In the Christian faith, my faith, we say the very same thing. May we have the serenity to accept what we cannot change, the courage to change what we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Altamo, knowing what you can and cannot change will be essential for your peace of mind. You're almost certain to face challenges in this world just because of how you appear to other people. May you persevere and meet those challenges with courage and dignity. And may you always work for justice, for yourself, for your loved ones, and for those who will look to you for the strength and leadership that I know resides within you. You spoke earlier today of making amends and making repairs for our mistakes. Well, another term for that is forgiveness, and I'm glad you recognize that it's important. May you develop your ability to forgive, for it's a quality not everyone has or uses often enough. People will inevitably misjudge you or even, God forbid, mistreat you. Even the people who are closest to you, because they're the ones who can really break your heart. May you always remember that we are worthy of forgiveness, for we are human and we can make mistakes just as you can. As you get older, you and I will see each other less and less. That's already happening. But even if you don't see me every day, you can be sure that you're always with me, because you're here in my heart. I wasn't your dad the day you were born, but I'm your father now, and no one can change that. May you always find love in this world as deep and true as the love that I have for you and our family.
Amen.
Thank you for joining us today for Altamo's Bar Mitzvah. A special thank you to our Hebrew tutor and friend Avi, to Rav Claudia and Tyler, and all the support we have received from TBZ, friends, and family. Before I deliver my prayer for Altamo, I need to tell you a little story. As Steve mentioned, we are not a very religious household, and I have decided early on that my children would be free to choose if they wanted a bar or bat mitzvah. Many years ago, Altamo and I traveled to California for the bar mitzvah of our cousin Jojo, who's watching from California today. It was a moving, beautiful, and fun affair. On the flight home, when Altamo didn't ask about having a bar mitzvah himself, I thought, okay, if that didn't do it, then he's not interested. 2 years later, we returned for his other cousin, Eric's bar mitzvah. Eric's also watching today, I hope. Again, moving, sweet, fun, and very meaningful. On the plane ride home, still no comment from Altamo about having his own. A few months later, on a random weeknight, Altamo came to me. Mom, I want to have a bar mitzvah. Okay, I responded. You know, that's a lot of work for a party and presents. Are you sure? He insisted that this was not his motivation and told me he was sure. So I ignored his request and, like a good rabbi, made him come to me 2 more times before we sat down and mapped out a plan. We joined TBZ, we began learning Hebrew together, attending Beit Rabban and studying with Avi. Almost 3 years now, Avi. Altamo's dedication has been awe-inspiring. His hard work, sincerity, and spirituality make me smile with pride. He has explored what is important to him as a man, what is important to us as a family, and what is important to his community. I have watched him transform in front of my eyes, seeing him grow from the boy who started this journey to the man who stands several inches taller than me today. This has been a gift that I will forever treasure. Altamo, this is my prayer for you. May you always be the light. You have a brightness in you that draws others to your energy, makes them smile, brings joy to all those around you. May you always have this light. When your light is low or flickering or dim, may there always be people around you to help brighten it, to breathe oxygen into your fire, to fuel your flame. May your light show others the way. May you continue to demonstrate your dedication to making the world around you a better place, with your friends on the baseball diamond in your house. You are almost always willing to step up and help out. You are a natural leader, and my prayer for you is that you see this strength in yourself and continue to use it for the betterment of the world around you, that your light show us the way. May your light hold you up when you struggle, when you feel like giving up. May your own light show you the way. Your light is a beacon, bright, beautiful, unique, and everlasting. Your light brightens my life and the life of those around you. I love you, and I'm thankful every day to have your light in my life.
Now your mom is going to bless you with a priestly blessing, the traditional blessing of the parents to the children in Hebrew and in English.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Ken yehi ratzon.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
Ken yehi ratzon.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Ken yehi ratzon.
I knew I was going to mess that one up. May the Lord bless you and protect you.
May this be God's will.
May the Lord show you kindness and be gracious to you.
May this be God's will.
May the Lord bestow favor upon you and grant you peace.
May this be God's will. And I'm going to, in a moment, invite also Ezraya, if you want to join, for the blessing of Shehecheyanu, the blessing we sing, saying thank you for this moment. And I want to recognize there's a lot of people here on Zoom from people in Israel, which is like, what is it? What time is it in Israel? It's very late, so thank you for staying awake. But I want to recognize two people on Zoom, and we're going to spotlight you for a moment. It's Miriam's mom and brother, grandma Ruth and David, Ruth Aschkenasy and David, and also Miriam's cousin Sarah and their children Eric and Jojo, Sarah Najaro. So we are in a moment going to spotlight you. We will see you here, so we can see you and we can sing together the Shehecheyanu. Oh, Sarah, you have to turn on your, yes. And Ruth, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu vekimanu vehigianu lazman hazeh. seated, but not Altamo. So Steve, Ezra, and Miriam, you may be seated. And I'm going to invite Eddie Taub, who is a board member of TBZ, to also say a few words on behalf of the board and the TBZ community, and not physically hand you gifts, but let you know about the gifts that you will be receiving.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, Altamo. And I'm very, very excited to be here. I'm honored. And I want to give you a congratulations. And not just for this one evening, where you did such a great job chanting Torah and singing and teaching us, but also for the past few years where you've been a dedicated student in Beit Rabban. And I even had the pleasure of meeting you, I think, about a year ago, because my son was in one of the study classes after Shabbat. And I remember even then you were contributing and asking great questions. So I look forward to you becoming even a greater part of this community. And on behalf of the board of directors and the whole congregation, I have some gifts for you. So we have a Kiddush cup for Shabbat celebrations. We have a plaque, Tikkun Olam plaque, which reminds you when you're repairing the world that you are not expected to complete the task, but neither are you free to avoid it. We have a special certificate to remind you that this day really occurred. And of course, the all-important name tag, which we hope you'll get to use many, many times from now. So, congratulations again, and
Thank you, Eddie. Mazel tov. Altamo, you may be seated a little bit more. I want to follow with some prayers before we begin, prayers that are so needed, prayer for our country, prayer for healing, prayer for Medinat Israel, especially recognizing the guests that are here from Israel. So let's start on page 10 with a prayer for healing during COVID-19, and we can add the names of all those who need healing in these times. El Rofeh, Kol Basar, Elohei, Haruchot, God who heals all flesh, God who lives in each breath. Strengthen your people Israel and all who dwell on your earth at this time. Give us blessing and peace of mind. Grant us our heart strength to stand in our places and to stand at this moment of radical change. Provide a complete healing of body and spirit to all of the sick, and to please add in your heart the names of the people you're praying for healing at this time. And grant to all those who are doctors, family, tending to their needs, nurses, doctors, family, and friends, the power to comfort and heal. When we are alone, may we find times to be at one with you. While we're withdrawn, may we still be with our friends and family. Enable us to take steps to bring help and assistance in all the ways that we can. Please, God, please heal us all. Elna Refanala. Page 11, prayer for our country. Join me. Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessing upon our country and upon the leaders of our nation and our communities. Inspire all who lead and serve to conduct their affairs honorably. May peace and security, happiness and prosperity, right and freedom abide among us. Unite the inhabitants of our country of all backgrounds and creeds, so that we may banish hatred and bigotry, safeguard our noblest ideals, and preserve those institutions which nurture liberty. May this land, under your providence, be an influence for good throughout the world, helping to unite all people in peace and freedom, and bringing closer to fulfillment the vision of your prophets. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. For the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effects of righteousness calm and confidence forever. Amen.
Amen.
And the prayer for Medinat Israel. Adonai Eloheinu, Tzur Israel vegoalo, Barech et Medinat Israel vehagen alea. We ask your blessing, O God, for the state of Israel, for the land of Israel, and for the people of Israel. Bless those who defend the land and protect its people. Bless its leaders with wisdom, courage, and dedication. May they be resolute in the face of challenge and unwavering in the pursuit of justice and peace. May Israel be a beacon of hope for the oppressed, a source of inspiration to all who are free, fulfilling your day the ancient promise. Zion b'mishpat tipadeh, v'shabea b'tzedakah. Zion shall be redeemed through justice, and its inhabitants through righteousness. And let us say, Amen. So we're going to turn now to the Havdalah service, which is the service that helps us end Shabbat. So we move from Shabbat Shalom to Shavua Tov. And this service, we were going to be turning off some lights. So it might be a little darker, but we'll be lighting a candle. And at this moment of Havdalah, we light a candle to symbolize this moment of transition. Ezraya, Steve, please join here. Ezraya, you want to light a candle that will help us also to see more. Also, the pictures help. And Havdalah is the time we light candles. We light the candle with the grape juice, the wine, and the besamim. We smell, and with this, we say goodbye to Shabbat, knowing that we take everything that Shabbat has for us, we bring it to the week. Hopefully, the blessing of these days will bless us for the week. Okay, I think, yeah, the candle really helps you see a little bit more. Yeshuati. Botei If you're on Zoom, put your camera on because you guys need to, so they can see you. I want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. I want to recognize Miriam's sister Leah, who came from New York, and everybody that is here that came from far and close, everybody that is here on Zoom. We'll sing one more time, and then we will be turning off the Zoom. And Simon Tov and Mazel Tov, everybody.
la 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 la